And if you don't have the right auto coverage, the cost of this could hit you out of nowhere.
This is RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is baseball time in Texas.
Well, here come the fans tonight. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Rangers baseball presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. The Red Sox and Rangers, they've split the first two. One more game left to go tomorrow. We bring you in via wire cam here this evening at Globe Life Field. Good crowd on hand and hopefully some more good baseball. Welcome in, everybody. Great to have you along with us tonight. I'm Dave Raymond with Mike Bassick. And the Rangers bounced back in a really nice way yesterday. Great win in last night's game. Jack Leiter was terrific as a starting pitcher. Of course, we saw in the opener more good starting pitching. And let's just start with that, Mike. The way this rotation has gone so far, the Rangers have to be really encouraged.
Yeah, you want to give your team a chance as a starting pitcher. And so far through 2 games, these 2 guys have done a great job. Nathan Eovaldi on opening day, 6 innings pitched, only 3 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts, very efficient, 87 pitches in the game. And then you go to yesterday's game, and you go to Jack Leiter. Now, that was kind of the unknown. We knew how good he pitched in spring training. We saw what he did last year, and he looked great. This is to start the game, his athleticism, getting the ball, taking it himself. And then as the game progressed, the fastball was electric. And in those 82 pitches, he threw 30 off-speed pitches, 13 changeups. He threw 16 off-speed pitches for strikes. He's talking to Jonah Heim about it right there. So 2 great starts, both really electric stuff. Hopefully, as this season progresses, we get those guys going and Tyler Mahle tonight.
Yeah, well, one thing that helps, great catchers. Laura Stickles has more on that when we come back. Rangers baseball on RSN is presented by Progressive Insurance. It's easy to bundle your home and car insurance at progressive.com. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort.
You can be a fan of any U.S. city. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Welcome back to Globe Life Field, where we are minutes away from first pitch in Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Texas Rangers and the Boston Red Sox, as we welcome you back to Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. This Rangers catching tandem of Kyle Higashioka and Jonah Heim has been excellent to start this season. Through the first 2 games, they've contributed to 50% of this team's total runs. On night 1, it was Higashioka with his RBI double, but last night it was Heim with 2 home runs in his first 2 plate appearances of the season. Media members spoke with Heim after the game, and he said, "Look, I know I didn't have the best spring training, but as they say, spring training doesn't matter, and when the games count and the lights turn on, I know it's time to lock in," and he certainly did that last night. Now, Bruce Bochy has said he plans to split these catchers 50-50 to start the season and just see how things play out, but I did ask him today, how do you decide who starts tonight? He says he doesn't want to get to a place where one pitcher only feels comfortable with a certain catcher, although that might play a bit of a role. He says he also wants to look at who the opposing pitcher is and play his matchups. But what he said lastly is that he has a rule. If you hit a home run one night, it's pretty likely you're going to be in the lineup the next night, but you're always in the lineup if you hit 2. So Heim behind the dish tonight, and it'll be Higashioka tomorrow, guys.
A no-brainer, as we say in the business, right? No question today. It was going to be Jonah working with Tyler Mahle. Now, their task is to slow down these Boston Red Sox, who come in at 1 win, 1 loss. And it's Duran leading it off again tonight in center field. Devers will be the DH, and then Alex Bregman batting third. Casas, Story, and Wilyer Abreu still in there. Right field today batting 6th. Campbell, the rookie in left field. Hamilton, the speedster, at 2nd, and Narvaez will catch him back 9th.
Tyler Mahle taking the few games there. 3 games last season, 0-1 record, 12 2/3 innings pitched, 4.97 ERA, and had 10 Ks in those 12 2/3. Now, here's the arsenal. Fastball 53%, splitter 30%, slider 14%, and cutter 3% last season. Let's see who's behind Mahle today in the field. In the outfield, Lankford, Taveras, and Garcia. In the infield, Josh Smith at 3rd, Seager, Simeon up the middle, Jake Berger at 1st, and Jonah Heim, the 2 home run guy, behind the plate.
Okay, well, we are set to go. Roof closed today. And one of those, I think the conditions, they were close, really close today to being able to go with the roof open, but not going to happen. As Duran steps in. So Tyler Mahle all set and ready to go to work. Great crowd on hand here this evening. And the righty's first pitch, Duran takes it outside. Ball 1. 82 degrees outside today. And you know, it's all about the dew point and all that other stuff, but we're inside today, and there's a strike and a good fastball from Mahle. 1-1.
Yesterday, one of the things that made Jack Leiter so successful is 5 leadoff hitters in his 5 innings, 0 for 5, got them all out.
The splitter misses off the plate. There's Jack. Still feeling great, no doubt, after that one last night. That's a great way to start your season. Picked up his first major league win last night. That'll make you smile. That'll make us smile. That's a little high. 3-1. Mahle, 30 years old, his 2nd year with the Rangers. Spent most of last year rehabbing off a Tommy John surgery, and he's low with ball 4. So he puts Duran aboard to start the ball game.
Let's look at StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, and Rafael Devers is off to a tough start. When you look at his 14 swings and misses, 5 on the curveball, 4 on 4 seams, 3 on the sinker, 2 on the cutter. He's tied with Teoscar Hernandez for the most swings and misses so far this season.
It has not been a pretty start for him, and he takes strike 1. And he's another game or 2 away from the noise getting louder and louder, which it was going into spring training, when he basically said, I'm not playing anywhere other than 3rd. And His manager, Alex Cora, said no, he's going to be the DH. And that story kind of died down a little bit, but let's face it, he did not play in the spring. I mean, he hardly took any at-bats at all. And though the story has quieted down, it's hard to imagine that he's happy with this situation. And so, anyway, we'll see where it goes. 1-2 the count on him now.
Yeah, his timing has just been way off so far to start the season.
He kind of looks like a guy who hasn't had a lot of live at-bats, to be honest. 1-2. And that was close. A little bit up there. That said, you know that Mahle and Jonah Heim and the Rangers respect greatly what he can do, and you just don't know when that's going to click back for him. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes out again. And he is the first out of tonight's game.
Well, Devers goes down again as he's really struggling to hit the ball. Four-seam fastball, top of the zone. That's the first swing where it's just the check swing sword. And this is the next pitch just above the zone that he takes. And then the last pitch, four-seam fastball, all similar locations, and great results for Tyler Mahle.
Quick toss over there to keep Duran a little closer.
You know, we mentioned this in spring training, but we haven't mentioned it in the game so far. Is there's a new way that Jake Burger and other teams are holding on runners at first base. They're not connected to the base anymore. You see there, it's a blind tag, and most teams are doing this now. Is they're not going to put their first baseman on the base. They're going to play him a little bit off, and then when you catch the ball, you just sweep towards the base.
Really good lead for Duran, but he was not moving as Bregman watches a close pitch for ball one, and that is what Bregman does so well. Very disciplined hitter. Good power. Good bat to ball skills. And watch another one upstairs. That time the slider from Mahle, 2-0.
I always felt like if you're really excited, had a little bit too much adrenaline, your misses are usually going to be up. I'm sure Tyler Mahle, this is his debut, first start. I know his opening day was a few days ago, but this is his opening day. Maybe just a little too pumped up right now.
On the ground and through the left side, a base hit for Bregman. So Duran has to drop anchor at second base, but Red Sox have a couple of men on. And here is Tristan Casas. Casas, you can see, Casas rather. 0 for 8 so far in this series. The guy, though, they have great confidence, will of course be a big impact on their offense this summer. He's a really good hitter. He missed some time last year for injury. That has been one thing in his young career that's been a bit of an issue, just keeping him on the field. He's one of 5 true left-handed hitters in the lineup today for Boston. So they loaded it with lefties against Mahle. Tyler right now having a little trouble dialing it in, and to your point, Mike, maybe a little amped up. Oh, it's a good swing and miss on the splitter. 2-1.
You got a little bit of help there. That looked like that was even a few inches off the plate, but Casas, an aggressive hitter, went after it. If you can get contact on that, it should be a soft ground ball for a double play possibility.
So Casas back in there. Duran at second, Bregman at first. Here it comes. Pretty close. Jonah doing his best to coax that one back into the zone, but Adam Hammery, our plate umpire tonight, he wasn't taking the bait, and that was pretty good read. So Casas Advantage count here. And he lofts this one. Back of third. Long run for Smith. And he runs out of room. Oh, no. And he ran into that railing and hard. I mean, there's no question that there are some oddities in foul ground in this ballpark. And you would understand if opposing players had trouble with these kinds of things. You hate it when your own guy gets tricked by some of the deception, I guess, with the foul territory.
Good thing is he's up and walking. Great effort here. Obviously shaded towards the second base side. Jumps and gets the side of the pole there. Hip hit the side of the pole.
I love that Wyatt Langford's initial reaction is to laugh at his teammate. Yeah, so that was the killer, right?
It doesn't give. There's zero give there. But yeah, Wyatt did think it was funny. Not my hip.
Dude, you hit that pretty hard. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so Smith, he had actually a pretty good read and strategy going up against that railing, right? He was just going to ride it along the side like that, but then that's where you get tricked.
Yeah, this is a very tough ballpark to play fly balls in this area here, and this last second effort to maybe try to reach for it is where that hip just really takes a hit. Obviously, he's in there today. We know Josh Smith is going to play a lot of baseball for the Rangers, but he's in there today because Josh Young has neck spasms again. So Josh is not available. Young.
The other thing you saw there when he came down, so he hit that railing, and as he landed, that left leg, of course, stayed straight. It was straightened out by the railing he hit, and he kind of came down. That left foot had nowhere to go. Right? It was up against. It's not funny, man. Was up against the concrete, and his body twisted a little bit, but his leg was unable to go with it. Let's see if you can see what I'm saying here. Watch his left leg. He goes up against here. He rides into that post. It straightens out, and see the leg go down there, and there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah. He's going to stay in the game. The other thing, too, is maybe this gave Tyler Mahle just kind of a 2 or 3 minute breather.
Let's see if he settles down a little. The count now is full on Casas. Two men out there, a check of the runner at second. And strike three called on the inside corner to Casas. Perfectly placed. And maybe a little bit extra given there by Hammering.
Yeah, this is a really nice pitch going inside corner, and give Jonah Heim a lot of credit. He's one of the best in the game at this. If this ball is maybe an inch off the plate, watch Jonah pull it back to the corner and get the call.
So now Trevor Story, and he's really late on that fastball. 2 down, 2 men on, first inning. Mahle being made to work in this first. Infield can relax a little bit, though. That's fouled away, and it's 0-2 quickly on Story.
Tyler's sneaky fast. The radar gun isn't going to tell you that he has an overpowering fastball, but the hitters will sometimes read it late and not get that bat head out, where he'd say, well, you're only going to throw the ball by guys if you're throwing 98, 99 like Jack Leiter, but Tyler Mahle can throw the ball by guys even in that 93-mile-an-hour range.
Yeah, we saw some interesting reactions in Arizona from hitters, and today you're seeing some more. The 0-2. And he's off the plate with it. Mahle trying to make it a scoreless first inning. We saw him make a couple appearances here last year at Globe Life Field. Just 3 starts after coming back from Tommy John, and he buries that one. 2-2. Closing in on 25 pitches in the inning. Fans trying to help him out a little bit. Here it is. And Story stays alive. Story, of course, a local kid from Irving. Missed over 130 games last year, coming back from left shoulder surgery, and that has been, I guess, the underpinning of his story as a Red Sox. He just hasn't been able to play very much. 2-2, and this one is fouled along third. 25 pitches in now for Mahle.
Does a good job of fouling it off after the fastball up. It's kind of a Nathan Eovaldi sequence there. A fastball top of the zone, splitter, same part of the plate, catching the middle of the plate, but getting it below the zone.
Duran at second. Bregman at first. Seventh pitch of the at bat. And a ground ball, shortstop. And Seager goes the short way. They force out Bregman, and the inning is done. So a scoreless first for Mahle. Nicely done. Now when we come back, Marcus Semien will start things off. Corey Seager and Wyatt Langford to follow. Nothing doing in the top of the first for Boston, and now here come the Rangers. One win, one loss, tied for first currently in the West. And the Rangers lineup today, Bruce Bochy sends Marcus Semien in that leadoff spot playing second. Corey Seager and Wyatt Langford right after him. Heart of the order, Peterson will DH. Garcia at right, Jake Berger at first base batting sixth. And then we'll wrap it up with Smith at third, Heim catching, and Leody Taveras in center field bats ninth.
Well, the former Ranger who threw the last pitch of 2024 to win the World Series, Walker Buehler. Last year with the Dodgers, these are not very good regular season numbers. 75 and a third innings pitch, 5.38 ERA, 289 batting average against. Arsenal, fastball, cutter, curve, sweeper, and change. But boy, was he great in the playoffs.
He always is. And Semien takes ball one. Yeah, Buehler was brilliant again last year with the Dodgers in the postseason on their way to the world title. 1-1. And I mean, his career a long way from being done, but right now, if you were to, I guess, encapsulate Walker Buehler's major league career, I think the first thing that would, the headline would just have to be that he is a postseason big game giant. He just pitches his best in the big spots. Fouled away, 2-2.
I will say I am weirded out by the number 0 on his back. He was 21 with the Dodgers, so just I can't recall a 0 as a pitcher. Maybe there have been in the last few years. I just have forgotten. But
Adam Ottavino. He's the one. 2-2 pitch, and that is popped up back of second base. Story wants it. Takes it away. Yeah, you mentioned he wore 21 with the Dodgers, but in Boston history, it was Roger Clemens' number, and so he thought better of it, and he said he really vacillated between 0 and 00. And the deciding factor for Buehler was that the single 0, he thought, made him look taller.
okay.
So that's what he went with. This one hit sharply up the middle. That's a base hit for Seager.
Corey Seager off of his former teammate. Walker Buehler gets a cutter here. Catches too much of the plate, and we've seen this plenty of times. Corey Seager rocket back up the middle. A base hit with 1 out.
Well, that's good to see right there. Well struck ball off his bat. Is now Langford steps in. Ground ball. That's through into left field. Another base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Rangers.
Langford sees the first one. He likes it. This one middle in, 93 miles an hour. Hard ground ball in the hole out to left field. Rangers have something cooking in the first.
All right. Big Jock Peterson now. Rangers 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position so far in this series. So they have not done a real good job of cashing in on spots like these. That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is the likelihood of that continuing for an extended period of time is probably not great, right? I mean, eventually those numbers tend to regress toward a certain level. So maybe they do.
I think they will. I mean, both of these teams, the pitching staffs for both sides have done a pretty good job in the first 2 games. We know the Rangers and the Red Sox are going to score a lot of runs this year.
1 and 2 on Peterson. Jock acting as the DH today. He was 1 for 3 with a run scored yesterday. And he watches that, but foul. He can get around on a fastball. Stays 1 and 2. Seager at second, Langford the runner at first. And that's low.
Well, he's gone changeup, fastball in, changeup. So go back to fastball in here.
The better question is, does Jock just sit on that, right? He did not get it. He got the curveball. And Buehler strikes him out.
Well, we see the last 2 pitches here. And the one before the strikeout is the one just below the zone. And then this is a great curveball. Buehler, when he's on, has one of the best curveballs in the game. And this is what you call a 12-6, where it's straight down. And that's a tough pitch to make contact on.
So Albombi now. Big, strong right-handed hitter. Adolis Garcia. He takes ball 1. Hitless so far in his first 6 at-bats of the year. He had a nice spring, though. And he hits that ball hard out to left field. And it is tracked down. No! It is dropped by Campbell. And it's on the turf. 1 run is in. Langford has great speed. He'll score! Boy, the rookie laid out and looked like made a spectacular catch, but he could not hold it. That's a double and 2 RBIs for Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia hits this ball hard, and the rookie Campbell makes a great effort. It hits him in the glove. As he comes down, the ball bounces out. He did everything you could here. He has it, and the ball just comes out. Buehler celebrating, and then he sees the ball on the ground.
Wow, what a moment. Heck of an effort by Campbell. But that ground could be unforgiving.
I wonder how long you're just sitting there.
Ooh! Berger takes one right off the torso.
Here's the pitch here, 93 miles an hour, just running in and catches him on kind of the tricep right there on the arm. Real live action. That doesn't feel very good. unfortunately. It looks like, Dave, we do have a substitution early.
Yeah, so there you go. Ezekiel Duran hitting for Josh Smith. And that's also not great. That tells you everything you needed to know about Josh Smith's collision with the wall in left field. He's done. And hopefully we'll get an update on his condition as Duran goes after the pitch and bounces it slowly first base side. Buehler wasn't covering and did recover just in time to get Duran. Wow, now the Rangers are checking quickly to see if it was close enough to challenge. It was not. But a 2-run gift perhaps in the first inning for the Rangers. Good things happen when you put it in play, and Garcia did just that to give the Rangers the early lead.
The Rangers have the early lead in the first, but unfortunately in the top of the first, Josh Smith going after a foul ball, reaches for it. His hip goes right into the pole, and in between innings throws his glove, and obviously in disgust and pain. And Ezekiel Duran takes over at third base.
You don't like that at all. We know how valuable Smith is, and it's amazing how the regular season starts when Game 3, and that had already been demonstrated in spades, right? With Seager needing help on opening day, Josh Young needing help today. You could very easily see the value of Smith, and now Duran is going to get the opportunities to help out. They're also now woefully short on infield help.
At this point, you don't want to lose your DH, but if something were to happen at third base, I guess you would move Berger to third and Jock Peterson into first.
Right. 2 balls and a strike now on Abreu.
Yes, that is the value of Berger, is in a pinch. I know they wanted to play first base this year. He can play third if you need it.
2-2, so Abreu right through that last fastball, and again you see the velocity numbers aren't huge for Mahle. The reaction of these hitters tell you that it's deceiving. Abreu's had a huge series. And Mahle's 2-2 outside. Abreu, third player in Red Sox history to reach base in the first 7 plate appearances of a season. That finally came to an end last night. 3-2 pitch, and it's in the air, foul. Heading out of play. Christian Vasquez did it 2017. Ted Cox did it in 1977. And now Abreu. Cora today before the ball game was talking about Abreu and when and how he can get him a break. And part of the problem is that he's been playing so well, you don't want to take him out of the lineup. Take a look at our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts game within the game. Now, 5 for 6 day in the opener. He was the entirety of the Sox offense really in game 1. That ball hit well, deep out to center again, back near the wall, and Taveras couldn't quite get it. Good job by Langford to back it up, and Abreu has a double. It's interesting because Taveras gliding after that ball as if he had it measured, but it eluded him.
Yeah, let's see this on replay here. Leote gets a good jump on it. He's going back right at the last second. Can't get to it. Like I said, Langford, good job backing it up, holding it to a double. And there you see as he's getting close to the wall. Didn't get to the ball. There's an effort there, but didn't get close enough to it to try to catch it.
So Abreu's hot streak continues. And, caught or not caught, it's another good at bat and dangerous swing by the guy.
That's the deepest part of the park, and he hit it off the wall. I mean, we should give Luke Jackson a trophy for getting him out yesterday.
Here's Campbell, and he tried to stop himself. He did stop himself.
Thing that's getting a little bit concerning just as this game progresses is this will be pitch number 37 for Mahle. We don't have an out here in the second inning yet.
Here's a strike. That was an 8-pitch at bat by Abreu after a 26-pitch first inning. So not efficient for Mahle. It's outside. Now, that's a guy you want to attack, right? I mean, there's no sense in being real careful right now with Campbell.
He's a free swinger. I spoke about this in the first game. He does step towards the third base side, so I don't know how he can be effective hitting that breaking ball on the outside corner the way he steps.
And there is the breaking ball for a strike.
I mean, he's gone there. If you can, it's a tough pitch to spot up that perfectly, but he cannot make contact on that pitch with the way that he steps towards third base.
Let's see what Mahle tries here. 3-2. Oh, he tried for the same thing, slider, but just a little bit away, and they walk Campbell. Not the way Mahle wanted to start this second inning. Now the speedster David Hamilton coming up, getting his first start of the year. Hamilton from San Marcos. Texan with brilliant speed. This is his first opening day roster in his young career. Strike pitch from Mahle is popped in the air, foul, and out of play.
You'd love a double play here, but I don't know how hard he has to hit it exactly right at somebody to get a double play.
It's gonna have to be like a line out double play, right? I mean, this is as Hamilton moves. We'll see. 8th place hitter today. And Mahle gets him to chase. So a strikeout of Hamilton, 3rd of the evening already for Mahle. 1 away.
Mahle goes well above the zone here with the four-seam fastball, about chin high. Gets Hamilton to chase.
Now Narvaez. All 3 strikeouts so far coming on that four-seam fastball. And there it is for a strike on Narvaez. Backup catcher. That's up and out.
Now, a little bit different here. If you can get the ground ball to somebody, you should get out of the inning with a double play.
Arias made his big league debut with the Yankees last year. Fouls that one off. Strike 2. Spent most of the year at AAA. Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Would you have played at some point or another in Scranton?
I was a minor leaguer in AAA for the Phillies in 2005. So they used to be the farm of the Phillies, AAA. I never went to Dunder Mifflin, though.
It's a 1-2, and that's just a little bit wide. What was the bar in that show where they sometimes go?
It's like O'Malley's or something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Don't tell me you got your paper from a big box store. This is fouled right side. Because, you know, the personal service that they provided, I think.
In 05, they hadn't started that show yet, but they are in creation of it.
Oh, really?
And I believe one of the last characters ever is Ryan Howard. He hadn't made it to the major leagues yet. He was our stud on our AAA team. And they're like, well, Ryan Howard is in Scranton right now. It's a common name. Why don't we name one of the characters Ryan Howard?
Wow. And that bar was Poor Richards.
There we go.
Thank you, Stephen Hunt. Good call. 2-2 pitch. That's low. Poor Richards, yeah. So Mahle, here's the other thing, right? He wants a shutdown inning here. Evo talked about this after his start on opening day, about the inability to get the shutdown inning. It is kind of critical. 3-2, and he loses Narvaez. Oh, boy, bases loaded now. 7-pitch walk, and that will get Maddox out for a moment. The lineup turns over. So tricky spot, and the pitch is piling up again.
You just start running out of gas in a hurry when this happens. When you throw 26 pitches in the first, you're about to throw your 26th pitch after this mound visit. Even though you're only at 50, when you throw this many pitches in just a short amount of time, you're probably 10% less than you want to be. So sometimes throwing off-speed pitches at times here can be better. Now, Mahle's gotten guys to chase that top of the zone. They're having trouble getting to it, but this lineup turning over with Duran, I worry about throwing a fastball in the zone up to him.
She walked him in the first inning. He's walked 3 already tonight. And you're not going to get away with that for long. Bases loaded, 1 out. Duran at the left side, and the first pitch to him. Well, he did go with a fastball up.
I don't know if he's trying to at this point. That just seems to be a lot of his misses. I don't think he wants to fall behind in these situations. You don't want to lay one in there just to throw a strike with bases loaded.
There's a little trouble here. 2-0. Of course, part of Mahle's story is, guys come back from Tommy John. It can take a little while to get that command back. That's a close miss, but 3-0 and nowhere to put Duran with Devers waiting on deck. And
you think with all these walks he has the green light here on 3-0?
it's interesting. He may. But I would not be real keen on trying it. And
He was taken.
He was taken.
Because you can't ask for a better pitch to swing at than that. So after all these walks, it's not a bad decision there to say, hey, he has to do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah. Now, he's ready now, the 3-1. And he gets underneath it. How about this? Infield fly near second base. Seager takes care of it. 2 gone. Boy, is that a break. That gives him a real shot of navigating the second inning now.
Yeah, good job by Mahle. Even though he falls behind 3-0, he doesn't give up, throws a strike down the middle to get into the count, and then gets the pop out. And now dangerous Rafael Devers, but a struggling Rafael Devers to start the year.
Rangers get activity in the bullpen. Jacob Webb starting to throw down there. Pitch to Devers, and it's very high again. And there's that miss that we have seen over and over again. As we mentioned last time with Devers, as big a struggle as it has been, you have to be very careful. There's a big swing and a miss.
You know, and I don't know this, but it seems like he's even more open with his stance. He always has been, but it looks like even more. Like right there, it didn't look like his foot got to where he needed it to be before trying to pull the trigger with his hands.
Yeah, well, you can't get more open than this. 1-2.
Boy,
for all the struggles here, Mahle's got a chance to electrify this building.
He's throwing the ball by him. I don't know if I want to mess with anything else. Now, we've seen Devers look bad on off-speed pitches in this series, but he is late on these fastballs.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Here it is. And he muscled up for a little more there, 95, but way up out of the zone. He's also getting to a dangerous spot here in this inning. And this will be the 60th pitch of the night. His 34th just in the second inning alone. And again, coming off Tommy John surgery, there's only so far they're going to want to push him. This may be his last hitter if he doesn't get him. Did he get him though? No appeal on the check swing.
It must have not been that close. From up here, we obviously have a big angle. Like we're pretty far away, but here it is.
Okay.
He held up.
Runners everywhere. They're running. No, they're not. What a scene. Red Sox at every base. 3-2 to Devers. Little high. Did he check it? He did. And that's a bases loaded walk to a guy struggling maybe as much as anybody in baseball. That's all Boch can handle. It's just a matter right now really of Mahle's health. He walks in a run, but you can't risk pushing him any further in this second inning, and that's a tough way for this one to end. One of the Rangers right-hander. Mahle's day is done, and that bullpen is going to shoulder the load the rest of the way.
awesome. Hopefully you're enjoying our broadcast here on the new Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Texas Rangers in a big situation here. 2 outs, bases loaded. Jacob Webb, last year with the Baltimore Orioles, 2-5 record, 3.02 ERA, 192 batting average against.
Signed a 1-year deal in December. And trying to get the Rangers out of further trouble in the second inning. A bases loaded walk to Devers just a moment ago. Gave the Red Sox their first run of the night. And Alex Bregman didn't like that first call.
I loved it.
You know, what makes you two different is what makes you two great. 1-1 on Bregman. He fancies himself as a guy who knows the strike zone pretty well, and his history has shown that he does. That got in on him a little bit. He fouls it away for strike 2.
You put yourself in a positive position here.
Does it go through your mind when you're on the mound that this guy might be ratcheting it up a little bit? Bases loaded, you know he's an aggressive, or he can be an aggressive run producer.
You just know you have to make a good pitch here, especially against an all-star hitter.
And you don't think about what they're thinking. There's a fly ball center field. Takes Taveras back, but he has room to make the catch, and the inning is done. So Webb does complete that second inning. Red Sox with just the 1 run. It's early, but it's 2-1 Rangers.
Welcome back to Globe Life Field, where the Rangers lead by 1 here at the bottom of the second inning. Jonah Heim coming up to bat first here. Guys, he has moved up to 4th in the standings of home runs as a catcher in Rangers history. Here's our Ford leaderboard as you take a look. Now, guys, post-game last night, Bruce Bochy said that in the past week, Heim has made some big adjustments to his swing and has been hitting the ball really well in BP. Jonah said after the game, yeah, I don't know if they've been using hard balls or what, but they have been flying in here. Now, he did say that's given him a ton of confidence and just allowed him to go up to the plate with a clear mind. But I also spoke with hitting coach Justin Bealey, and he said that this spring they really focused on shortening up his swing, especially his stride before he takes that swing, just so he can get to fastballs more quickly. Bealey said he already does so many things well, so if he can just start hitting that fastball, they feel like he can put together a really good season. Guys?
Boy, had a great season last night. 2 home runs.
Well, if he plays 50% of the time, he's going to have 162 home runs on.
Yeah, right in that range, right? That's where he's pacing. Takes a strike, 3-1. I think, we talked about it a little bit last night in the postgame, but part of the Heim story the last year and a half has just been the workload. I think even leading into 2023, the question was, well, hey, if they could get him maybe a little more opportunity maybe there's more there that he can give. And then as 2023 played out, it was like, whoa, maybe there's only so much we should put on a guy's shoulder. 3-2 pitch, and he lofts that one out to Campbell in left field, one away. Anyway, I think keep him fresh. There's no doubt he can have a big year. Here's Taveras.
Good day yesterday for Leote.
Another guy who may end up sharing some of the responsibilities at his position. The thing about Leo is, yeah, he's going to share some center field, but he's apparently going to play some right as well. We've seen him, or we saw him doing that a lot during the spring. I asked him about it the other day, and he said, yeah, I think that's a plan. I think I'm going to get a little work in right field from time to time. That guy, Kevin Pillar, will get some work in center.
I'm a little bit worried one of them might have to play some infield here pretty soon.
Certainly not a lot of room for error tonight. Two-one pitch from Buehler. And Taveras just missed it. Hit it hard, but way up in the air. And two gone. Gives us a moment now for Baylor Scott and White Health.
Get the back care you need and get back to life fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
Healthcare that keeps you in motion. It's not complicated.
All right, Marcus popped out in the first inning. One hit so far in the series, and a breaking ball missed inside. Up. Has that one left the hand? You think it was going right at him?
Yeah, that's a sharp breaking ball.
It is. I saw you flinch a little. I was flinching a little myself. And there's the fastball for a strike, 1-1.
Walker from Vanderbilt. Rocker has a curveball like that at times too when his is on. Is that what they're teaching at Vandy? Do I need to go to Vandy and see how they're doing that?
Maybe.
Get to see Rocker on the road in Cincinnati, and hopefully he has all his stuff working like his buddy right next to him, Jack Leiter.
Yeah, looking forward to that start Monday night in Cincinnati. Tomorrow we'll wrap up this series, and then the Rangers will travel. First road trip of the year, very short one. There's a swing and a miss, and Semien strikes out. Buehler comes back with a 1-2-3 second inning. So the third inning beckons tonight with the Rangers up 2-1. Well, I mentioned that tomorrow we'll wrap up this series. Really looking forward to tomorrow. DeGrom Day. Finale against Boston, 135 first pitch. And tickets still available right now at Rangers.com. It'll be his season debut. Two-time Cy Young Award winner. Good this spring.
Come on out and join us.
Yeah.
Why not? We'll be here.
We're definitely going to be here. First pitch in there for strike one to start this third inning. Tristan Casas leading it off for Boston. Heck, we'll get here early tomorrow. It's fouled away. 0-2. So Webb came in to get that final out last inning. Mahle went an inning and 2/3. Gave up a run on only 2 hits. Struck out 3. The problem was the 4 walks. He was just having trouble commanding that fastball. So it made for a short night for him. Frankly, the pitch count in the third inning was just too high in the 1 inning. There's strike 3 called, and Casas down looking. 1 away.
Great job by Webb here, going with the fastball away. Jonah frames it up 92 miles an hour. Starts on that outside corner, stays on the corner. Casas down both times looking. Makes Dad at Little League games really mad when kids do that.
Sure does. Trevor Story hits one on the ground right to Corey Seager. Throws out his opposite number 2 away. And we slide over a moment here. We won't slide anywhere. Wilyer Abreu.
Well, Wilyer Abreu's coming up to bat. We've got him out once.
I remember that.
That was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
9th inning.
Webb hasn't had a chance to face him though, and he gets one in there for a strike. Maybe he can do it too. Luke Jackson, the only Rangers pitcher who's been able to retire Wilyer Abreu. One strike pitch, and that's popped up.
We've done it.
Yep. Add Jacob Webb to the list. He has done it. A fly out to right field. How about a 6-pitch third inning for Jacob Webb? Bottom of the third coming in a 2-1 game. So it's a 1-run lead for the Rangers, but they have the bat here in the third inning. Seager, Langford, and Peterson. Great to have you along with us tonight. I'm Dave Raymond with Mike Bassett, Laura Stickles reporting from the field. Incredible views today here at Globe Life Field. And Walker Buehler back to work. He was pretty good in the second inning. Rangers got to him in the first, though, for a couple of runs. He gets a corner call. Tall righty back to the plate, and he's low with that one. Seager started the rally in the first inning with a base hit. Hard hit ball up the middle. His second hit of the series, and he takes high. It's 3-1. So Buehler at the extremities of the zone and hasn't gotten Seager to chase yet, and Corey doesn't normally. He waits for a strike. 3-1. Oh, that's a bounced foul. Seager's been playing through I don't want to say an injury, but a calf irritation lately, the 3-2. And he had to hold off just a touch. And pops this one up to Campbell in left field, one away. Not quite at full strength.
I know that affects his running. Do you think it's affecting his swing at all?
No, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I know the numbers haven't been great for him, but he took a live BP session here the other day. I guess that would have been Wednesday. Said he was fine. He swung the bat really well. And even when this thing first popped up, every indication we were given was it doesn't bother him when he hits, only really a concern in the field. So I guess I have no choice but to believe what I've been told. A fly ball out into right field. And Langford retired, 2 away. But, you know, it's a very different lineup, very different offense when he is clicking. Heck, it's as good a lineup as you'll see when Corey Seager's hitting well.
Student of the game?
Yeah.
I hope he's watching what he did.
Yeah, no, you're talking about a guy who knows exactly what he's doing. He has it down to a science. Peterson takes ball 1. He struck out on the first. Jock was pretty impressive during the spring. Still kind of waiting for him to have that big day at the plate during the regular season.
He will.
He will. 2-1.
I think we noticed about Jock in spring training is I don't know how many times he's going to wear just blue or red gear. He's going to choose different colors.
Yep. He marches to the beat of his own. That's low. 3-1. And I will say, for a out of the box color that he'll throw into the mix, I like the yellows. I think it kind of pops.
It does pop.
3-1. Ooh. Right on the inside corner.
That's a perfect pitch there. Throwing a cutter right on the corner of the inside part of the plate. And you want it up against a lefty. You don't want it to drop into that bottom corner, and it stays up top of the zone. Last time he got him with a curveball on 2 strikes. We'll see if he wants to go back to that. When he throws it right, it's pretty unhittable.
Payoff on the way. There's the cutter. It's on the ground, first base side, and I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, catcher's interference. I was like, why is Jock? You know, Jock just walked out of the box. I was like, you got to run a little bit, right? But that was catcher's interference.
There we go. There's the cutter. It's a good pitch, and there's the glove. I have a random question. On a catcher's interference, if you hit the ball into the gap for a double, is it just still catcher's interference?
No, you can choose to take the double.
Okay. But on a balk now, if they throw the pitch, it's just a balk.
It's a balk.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Catcher's interference, and that goes down as an error on Narvaez. Garcia had a big double in the first inning. Nearly caught by Campbell. Uh-oh, throw back to first, and they got Peterson off too far. Well, A little too daring over there, and Boston picks him off. The inning is over. Fourth inning coming up here in Arlington. Rangers still lead 2-1.
We head on to the fourth inning. It's 2-1 Texas Rangers, and let's look at the Yuengling flight cam pickoff right here. Very quick. Tagged by Casas, and Jock knew it. And by a good 6 inches there.
Yeah. So now Webb back out there. And there is activity in the Rangers bullpen. Kobe Milner has begun throwing, and it's a question of how far you can push Webb. This ball's hit hard out to left center, and that's headed to the bullpen. So the rookie Christian Campbell with his first big league home run, and he has tied this game at 2.
This ball is hit very hard, and it got out in a hurry. And I'll tell you, for the first time in the series, I really heard the Red Sox fans here.
Yep.
Congratulations to the young man. Don't hit any more this series. Hit him later in the year.
When it's all said and done, his numbers from the series are going to look pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, that's the first really well-struck ball we've seen. But that's also why they like him. He showed some power in the minor leagues with an ability to hit for average. And that was a poke there, well over 431 feet. Line to first, nice catch by Berger. Boy, he just got to that one. Hamilton retired one away.
It looks like a natural with the first baseman's glove right here. This is a tough play. Ranging to his right. Reaching up, leaping off the ground, catching it right in the web. Great play. I was asking you, Dave, during the break, what can we expect out of Webb innings-wise here, as the Rangers are going to have to eat a lot of innings to possibly get to the back end of the bullpen. And you're looking up last year. Did he ever throw 2+ innings?
Twice. Once he threw 2 innings last year.
Yeah.
And on another occasion, he threw 2 1/3, and that's it. The rest of it was all, I guess, relatively short relief. An inning and third. Sometimes just a couple of outs. So, yeah, they're asking a little bit of him here. An inning and 2/3 so far. Narvaez the batter. He walked in the second inning, and he takes in 2-1.
I guess the good thing was in the third inning, he didn't throw many pitches there. So the pitch count is low at least.
It's upstairs, 3-1. What, I mean, you have a feel for this.
Yeah.
What does this mean for a guy like Webb?
Most guys do not like getting up, let's say, for this. I know this is second inning right now if you're looking at just a box score, but for a third time, you're just not used to it. And your body is just, you want it, but your body just hasn't done it in a long time. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look what Webb did in the minor leagues and if he ever was a starter in the major leagues. But getting out of that dugout and doing it for a third time is just not easy to do.
One of those situations today where the Rangers didn't have a whole lot of choice. 3-2 to Narvaez, and a swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Webb. 2 gone.
Well, this is the four-seam heater. Top of the zone, right above the belt. That's a Bayou, and as we are talking about it, Boch knows all of these numbers.
Here it comes, so that is going to be it for Webb. 2 solid innings in relief with 2 away. Hoby Milner is side-arming left-hander coming on.
Hoby Milner coming into the game, the sidearm lefty, and yesterday in a big bases loaded situation, he strikes out Rafael Devers and gets a hard ground ball that Josh Young makes a nice play on Alex Bregman. Nice scoop by Berger, and out of that big bases loaded situation and back in today.
You'll see the top of the order, just as he did yesterday. Duran got him for a base hit right when Milner came on, before getting those 2 big outs and getting out of that jam. He just needs an out here to get through the 4th inning. Ground ball right side. Marcus Semien on top of it, and Milner does exactly what they had hoped. Gets that ground ball. Inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, all tied up.
Let's take a look at our PNC Bank slow moments. Adolis Garcia in the first inning hits a line drive into left center field. The rookie Campbell looks like he makes a great play right at the last second. Pops out. 2 RBIs for Adolis Garcia, throwing some haymakers at second base.
Well, let's see what he does here to get things started in the 4th. Buehler has settled in nicely since that hit in the first inning. It's right in there with strike 1. Love to see a quick start to the season for Adolis. Coming off last year, all the work he did in the offseason, he had a nice spring. Just a little extra pep in the step this season. He seems to be moving better mood. And he takes low. And they appeal the check swing. He did not go. 1-2. Buehler's working with a little tempo. Seems to be pretty much doing what he wants at this point.
After that Garcia double, I guess he hit Berger the next at bat. He's been pretty locked in since then.
2-2 pitch, and that ball's belted deep out to left field. Campbell can't catch that. It's gone! Elbombi shows up tonight. 2-run double earlier, and his first tater of the season. 3-2 Rangers.
Adolis knows it right off of the bat. This is one of the few breaking balls that Walker Buehler has hung tonight. And as soon as Adolis hits it, he knows it. Got ourselves 3 RBIs tonight already.
Now Berger, who took one off the tricep his first time up. Yeah, he looks like the old Adolis Garcia, the 2023 version of Elbombi. Berger shoots it foul. 0-2.
We'll see the launch angle in the distance. Campbell went back on it, but he had no chance.
414 feet off the bat, 103 miles per hour. That was a blast.
A beer and a ball.
What a day. How about a Berger? Now he'll bounce it back to the mound. And Buehler throws out Berger. He's gone. The Rangers, when that guy's going well right there, that's a huge lift for this team. There's something about his emotional way of playing the game too that resonates in that dugout.
Yeah, I think it resonates with the fans too. You'll see around the park a lot of 53s. His fans love when guys do play with emotions. Not that playing with emotions is good. Some guys play better with just being kind of quiet, simple guys, but a lot of fans love when guys like Adolis play and play well for you. He's getting his replay on it now, too.
Enjoy it.
Think there's any way they also have your call on it, too?
I doubt it. They're smart. They would just
hit audio.
Oh, man. It's not. Here's the 2-1. And that's up and out. It's Garcia's night so far tonight. Duran had to take over for Josh Smith tonight after Smith left the game and run into a pillar on the left field line.
With that injury and now Smith out of the game, Josh Young not available, I wonder what Bochy's thinking about if this game progresses and they bring in a lefty using Pilar for Peterson now that he only has 2 bench guys left.
Pretty fair question. Will pop up out into right center, and it's tracked down by Duran. 2 away. I mean, the problem is you're so limited right now. You have two guys on the bench. One of them's your backup catcher, right? So you got Pilar. You use Pilar, and then just imagining anything happening, you're really stuck.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be pretty conservative at this point. Oh, that ball's hit hard out to right field and caught by Abreu. Lovely swing though by Jonah Heim. He seems to be seeing it well. Well, any inning is a great inning when that guy does work. Garcia goes yard for the first time in 2025. Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by TXU Energy, official energy provider of the Texas Rangers. Well, I love these new looks. This one from our Defy wire cam. Pretty cool. A lot of new features this year on RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. Hobie Milner goes back to work and slings one right past Rafael Devers. Devers knocked Tyler Mahle out of the game with a bases loaded walk in the second inning. Outside of that, it has been a very quiet series for him. And Milner jumps ahead 0-2.
Really good pitches to start off Devers.
This cannot be a comfortable at bat for Devers either.
No, but he did get to see him yesterday. Sometimes when you face a sidearm or 2 days in a row, you see him better.
As you mentioned, Milner pitched yesterday and will be asked to give a little bit extra today. Got that final out last inning. Bouncer left side of the infield, and Duran takes care of Devers, one away. So I was asking Hobie about this the other day. He started throwing sidearm in the minor leagues. He's actually a kind of a 3/4 arm slot, and he was doing PFPs. And when he picked up a ball, and that's pitcher's fielding practice, to sling it over to first, he threw it sidearm. And his pitching coach noticed it. Now wait a minute, maybe you ought to do that. And so they started to go to work on becoming a sidearm pitcher. And at some time, there was a point where he was even kind of submarining a little bit, just experimenting, playing around. But he did say the one thing about going sidearm is it puts a lot less strain on your elbow, shoulder. And I knew that as a kid when I used to play. My arm always hurt. When I'd throw it sidearm, I could throw and it didn't bother me. And said as a result, it feels like you kind of throw all the time. And that's probably an exaggeration. But he bounces back quickly.
Okay.
And you look at his career, he's been really healthy in his career. I do think there's a little preservation that comes along with being a sidearm or submarine pitcher.
Okay. I mean, that was a really nice backdoor breaking ball right there. I wonder if we got to talk to Dr. Meister.
Yeah.
Or somebody like that deals with that could explain why it's less stress.
Yeah. I don't know. You surely messed around with it at
Yeah.
times, right? Just playing catch.
Yeah, I even did it a little bit as my career wasn't going well over the top. Just do it every once in a while, and then I get a couple home runs on it and said, well, that's not the answer.
You guys will try pretty much anything.
Yeah.
2-2. And that's a little high.
Stick in AAA for a while. You'll start experimenting.
What if I go sidearm, scuff it a little bit? Whatever it takes. The payoff. And that one's ripped down the line. Foul.
Well, it'll be interesting here because after Bregman is Casas, nobody's up in the Rangers' pen. You're talking about, Milner kind of having a rubber arm and just wondering if they're going to want him, if he can have a nice inning here, pitch the 6th inning too. That is a lot to ask after pitching yesterday, especially early in the year.
Got the two lefties. The right-handed hitting Bregman is battling him here and fouls off another one. And that could wear a guy out, right? If Bregman can continue to stretch this at bat, this would be the 9th pitch coming up.
Now, this is the other thing, too, in the game of baseball that has changed is just because you're a sidearm lefty doesn't mean I only want to face lefties. 5 years ago or before, you have a lot of guys that would do that and not really have to face many righties, but now you have the 3-hitter minimum that you have to be able to have stuff to get righties out, too.
And he loses Bregman. But now gets another lefty in Casas. Been on for a second time in today's game. 3-2 Rangers on top. Casas struck out both times in so far tonight. And he fouls off strike one. The other thing that's interesting about sidearmers, any more these days we get so much data, so much information on pitchers, on hitters, heck, everybody. But you can see exactly where Milner's arm slot has been year by year, average arm slot. And it was down a little bit last year. Bouncer down to first, goes foul.
When you say down a bit, like he was releasing it lower to the ground?
It was a negative -2 degrees from level, let's say.
Okay.
So I asked him about that. I said, are you trying to get down just a little below even? He said, no. He said, a lot of that's just, so I'm just trying to be even. And my goal is just to stay even. He said, because if I'm right exactly sidearm, then I feel like I can manipulate the ball to rise. I can manipulate it to sink a little bit. I can move it left and right. But if I get up over the top of it or underneath it a little bit, it gets harder. Lined out to left field. And Casas is aboard. Couple of base runners here. I mean, you can still manipulate it in both directions from those, let's say, lower angles, or even if you're above it a little bit. But it's just, you've got to be mindful about that.
Yeah. It is great to have the technology to know that. There was no way 10+ years ago that you'd have, well, you're at the 0, but you got a little bit underneath the one, a -1, and it's just like, it's just a feel.
Yeah, I asked him, like, well, do you use that? Are you conscious of it? You think to yourself, like, hey, let's get a little lower here and see if I can get a certain action on the ball or something. They said, no. I mean, he's like, when you're out there, you're just trying to execute. And I'm just, again, trying to stay generally right off the side. And Harrison Garabito beginning to throw the baseball out there. And there's your long man, right?
Yeah.
So, look, Webb did his job. Milner's doing his job. But at some point, somebody's going to have to eat some significant innings, and Garabito looks like he's going to be that guy eventually.
Now, I'm assuming Luke Jackson is down tonight after throwing 2 games in a row. I don't think he'll start the season throwing a guy 3 games in a row. So I'm assuming Martin will have the 9th if there's a safe situation.
Probably. They avoided him yesterday, but he went, an inning and a third in Thursday's game. So it is, it's a little bit tricky with some of the veteran guys. For Boch, he's going to have to figure out a way to spread that out a little.
Garcia is definitely available for an inning today.
Could be, yeah. Turning out there for Trevor Story. Hoping for a ground ball. That one just a little bit wide of the bag. He's hit the ball on the ground twice tonight. And that might be enough to get Milner through this 5th inning if he gets Story to do that again. In the air foul. Stays 1-2. Milner. It's becoming a longer inning. 20th pitch of the inning coming up here. And that's good. Right on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Story down looking. 2 away.
This is a perfectly placed fastball inside, 88 miles an hour. Just catches the inside corner right here. You can see right on the side of the baseball. Side spin. Perfect pitch. Story didn't agree with it, but we saw in spring training that ball, probably 1 or 2 inches of it caught the corner.
Yeah, it also looked, I couldn't tell if he was upset so much with our plate umpire, Adam Hamry, or himself even a little bit. And here's Abreu again in a big situation, and he fouls that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Cora talking about Abreu before the ball game and talking about his weight, not where it should be. And that is just off the corner. That was really close.
That was a close pitch. I wonder for umpires how tough it is to have the correct strike zone with a guy who throws at a sidearm angle, as where the ball crosses the plate.
We talked about it the other day. The one thing we learned in spring training with that challenge system is just how incredibly accurate these umpires are.
Yeah.
Bregman at second, Casas at first, 2 out. The 2-2 to Abreu. On the ground, left side, covering it up. Duran, he flipped to second, inning over. Nicely done. Milner gives an inning and a third scoreless to the Rangers tonight. So both relievers so far putting in yeoman's work. Remains 3-2 Rangers. Well, opening week is presented by PNC Bank. It's fun, isn't it? Opening day was a blast. Yesterday was great. Get that win for the Rangers. And of course, just just 4 games at home, then the Rangers hit the road, so they'll be in Cincinnati on Monday. Here's a bunt laid down third base side. Narvaez out, and he can't get it. Not in time. Taveras drops down the bunt single to start the 5th inning.
This is a perfect bunt, and I love this from Leote. Is this a perfect bunt? It's not a perfect bunt, but he deadens the ball enough, and with his speed, gets a hit. There's nothing else Boston could do there. Everybody fielded their position as best as they could. Buehler peels off. And Leote with a big hit. I love it. That could be a huge weapon in 25 if he can do that every once in a while.
He's had such a nice spring and now a good start to the season. And if he's really added that weapon, I'm with you. That is a big boost for this team. There he goes. The pitch comes inside. The throw goes to second. It's not even close. So Taveras with a steal of second base. And I love it. You've been asking for this.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more aggressive on the small ball side.
I love this style of baseball, especially from a guy like Leote Taveras. You bunt, and then the next pitch, you turn that bunt into a double. Played with a guy a long time ago who could do this a lot, and that was Kenny Lofton.
That was ripped foul.
He could turn a bunt base hit into a triple in 2 pitches.
Yep. Just a valuable weapon to have. 2 steals for Taveras in this early part of the season. The 1-1. And that misses in. 2-1. Marcus has popped out and struck out. And Buehler in there with a strike. 2-2. Now, you were giving me numbers between innings on Buehler. He's thrown a lot of off-speed today.
Yeah, coming into this inning, he had thrown 41 off-speed pitches out of 62.
Interesting. There's another sweeper, too. Full count now.
The counter's a little bit behind right now, but I'll get an update on that for you.
Been a lifelong Dodger, signed a 1-year deal with Boston this offseason. And he was going to be one of those guys who was going to be one of the last guys picked off the heap in the offseason. He did not have a great regular season until the Dodgers made their deep postseason run, and he was so good. And man, all of a sudden, he's a little more of a commodity. Semien pops this one up. And that is not playable. Well, been given a good effort, but nothing there for him.
So right now I'm on the website Inside Edge. They have it at 71 pitches. Obviously he's at 73. Out of 71 pitches, they have 22 fastballs on here.
Wow, yeah.
17 cutters, 5 curves, 11 sweepers, 16 changeups. A lot of off speed.
There's another one. Stays 3-2.
It's just a matter of how you want to call his cutter, too. If you wanted to call his cutter a cut fastball, then you can add more fastballs to the mix. But his cutter has a lot of movement to it, so I kind of call it more of an off-speed pitch or a breaking ball pitch.
8th pitch of this at bat. And it's on the ground up the middle, base hit. Taveras got a good start. He'll score easily. RBI single by Marcus Semien stretches the lead to 4-2.
This is a great professional at bat. Marcus Semien fouling off a couple of 2-strike pitches and then getting a fastball. Maybe catches the corner. Maybe a little bit outside, but does a great job of staying with it. And he's worked hard in the offseason to work the ball more up the middle opposite field on those outside pitches, and it pays off right there.
Now Semien running, and a base hit right side. Marcus with that good start. He'll trundle to third, and Seager with his second hit of the game has placed Rangers on the corners.
Well, I don't like it. I love it, and I want some more of it. We're running on the pitch. Corey Seager hits a grounder. We got infielders moving, and now it's first and third instead of first and second. Watch out, Major League Baseball. These Rangers want to run.
We've talked a lot about Marcus Semien being on first base ahead of Seager and not running because you don't want to take the bat out of his hands, etc. That was an interesting spot there because it opened up a little more room on that right side.
Yeah, and the game's begging, and I get what you're saying. I wonder this with the calf, are you thinking, well, maybe he doesn't have as much power right now. Maybe I can take a chance. Also, Walker Buehler is slow to the plate right now. The game is begging every team to run more. With the new rule of only picking twice, the pitch clock.
Bigger bases.
Yep.
Rangers taking advantage this inning. 3 hits in the inning. Wilson has been throwing out of the bullpen for Boston. He's getting ready as quickly as he can. And Langford, a guy who can turn a good inning into a great one with one big swing. Fouls away strike 1.
I wonder how much right now you'd want to maybe sit off speed. It's tough because if you throw a fastball, you can't even swing the bat. It'll be by you. If you're looking for something 80-ish and it's 90-ish, you're not going to be able to swing the bat.
There's a fastball pulled foul.
Back-to-back fastball, or sorry, breaking ball then fastball.
Rangers 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. Semien at third base, Seager at first.
Tough guy to double up.
Infield about halfway in. The 0-2. Low. I mentioned the Rangers 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. They were 2 for 11 in the first 2 games. So much better tonight. Langford has a hit and has scored a run tonight. Oh, he's way out in front of that sweeper. A strikeout is the first out of the inning.
We go back to the start of the at-bat here. And that's the pitch that he gets the first strike on, foul ball 81. Coming inside, making Langford known that I will come in. And then he throws a perfectly placed breaking ball to sweeper that looks like a strike 90% of the way there, and that'll do it for Buehler.
He's done. They bring on the lefty Justin Wilson here in the 5th. Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers. And by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.
Veteran left-hander Justin Wilson on the mound. He's been around the block. Last year with Cincinnati. 6 years old. And we see the numbers there last year with Cincinnati, and we kind of get our answer here if we would use Pilar this early in the game. We're going to stick with Peterson, lefty on lefty.
One out. Wilson deals low, ball one. Yeah, well-traveled left-handed reliever. Made his debut back in 2012 with the Pirates. Oh, it's fouled away. Peterson reached on catcher's interference in the third inning and then was picked off first base. And that's how that inning ended. The 1-1. And that's low. 96 from Wilson, as you mentioned, now in his late 30s. And he's on a lot of games over the years, closing in on 600 career appearances in relief in the big leagues. Went to the Pirates, Yankees, Tigers, Cubs, Mets, Reds. First go around with the Red Sox now, and evens the count of 2-2 on Peterson.
Last year, Peterson had 42 plate appearances, healthy all year, but Arizona definitely used him in a spot where they tried not to have him lefty on lefty.
2-2. A little tapper. Second base. A tag applied on Seager. The throw to first in time, and they complete the double play. That worked out poorly. I guarantee it. Inning over. The Rangers get the one run. No replay challenge from the Rangers, and it's 4-2.
We head to the sixth. Rangers up by 2. But right here, Corey Seager, if he would have just stopped and not gotten tagged, even though it's still going to be a double play, and that ball goes to first, and then you tag Corey Seager, the Marcus Semien run scores. Now, this is a great job by Casas to catch that ball and keep his foot on the base. You have to give the Red Sox credit. They made the great defensive play, but I think Corey Seager, if he had to do it all over again, would have just shut it down early and made sure that he would have gotten a run down, which would have been a double play still, but you score a run on that one. You don't score a run the way it happened that way.
Yeah, that's the problem there. But the high IQ play is just to delay that out for however long. Okay, I'm going to be doubled up. There's no way you're beating it by just running through it or into it.
Right.
But the other thing, though, that I would point out is Garbido takes over this inning. Oh, that ball is lashed down the line by Campbell. And now he'll show off a little speed, cruising to second base. And he's in there with a leadoff double. I do think it's important to point out with Corey When you have a calf injury,
Yeah.
starting and stopping
Yeah.
are your enemies.
Okay.
Right? Like that's the hardest thing. If you drive that foot into the ground to try and stop, it activates the calf. That's what's doing it. And so it could be in his case right there that it just was one of those where physically he just wasn't in a position, I guess, to make that quick decision and stop.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just, you want to look at it and say, gosh, I mean, and he would have to shut it down really early.
Yeah, I just wish he hadn't started.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and walk towards second, because let him get the double play, but give Marcus time to score. A double by Christian Campbell, who seems to have figured a couple of things out. And now Hamilton pops this one foul out of play. 22 years old, full of talent, did not have a great spring, quite honestly, but made the opening day roster. Looked a little overmatched the first 2 days, but was still somehow scratching out hits, and now today he's hit the ball hard.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better today with his swings. Now I do think the way he hits, if you can hit the low and away corner for a strike, he cannot make good contact on that, the way he steps, not towards the pitcher, towards kind of the shortstop. But it's easy for me to say, it's easy for anybody to say, well, just throw it in that little square right there. But guys are trying to do that. You just have to execute it and you'll get them out most, or if not all the time.
2 pitch and a ground ball right side. Berger has it, steps on the bag, tags out the runner anyway. And that's the wise thing to do as Campbell advances to third base. 1 out.
Berger really aggressive on this soft ground ball here. He knows who's running too, Hamilton, so he knows he can't really wait back. He does touch the base with his foot. I think he got it.
Yeah, not
He
taking
made
any
sure,
chances.
tagged him just to make sure. And luckily the ball didn't fly out of there.
So now Narvaez with Campbell at third base and kind of daring down the line. Well, the Rangers are going to need some innings out of Garabito here. There's Campbell. This ball hit sharply down to third base. Duran looks Campbell back, makes a good throw. Nicely done. 2 away.
Duran knows how to play third base. He knows how to play a lot of other positions too, but does a good job of making Campbell get back to the base and then throwing a strike to Berger here. As this ball's hit where the Red Sox don't want it, to the third baseman. Campbell does the right thing and Duran does a great thing, making the play, keeping the runner at third base.
So 2 out. And Jarren Duran shoots that one foul. Center field tonight for Duran, who played left field the last 2 games. So they do have a couple of guys they need to get work in the outfield on the Boston side. Want to get everybody involved. Swing and a miss. So Ceddanne Rafaela got the day off today. Had been their center fielder.
Boy, if Garabito can make one more great pitch and get out of this situation and put another 0 on the board for the Rangers, what a tremendous job. He has to make one more pitch. The battle's not over yet.
Trying to work around that leadoff double. Right-hander ready, delivers, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Duran swinging, inning over, and that's a gutsy first inning of work tonight for Garabito. Now when we come back, Rangers up by 2. The offensive hero, El Bombi, leads it off.
Welcome back to Globe Life Field. Rangers lead by 2 here with Adolis Garcia at the plate. He had his first hit of the season in the first inning and his first home run in the fourth. Guys, he made some major adjustments to his swing this offseason, shortening up. But when he came back from his oblique injury in spring training, it looked like a switch almost flipped. He was a completely different hitter and looked so much more comfortable with those adjustments. But when I spoke with Rangers hitting coach Justin Bealey today, he said it's actually not quite that simple. He's still making minor tweaks throughout every plate appearance right now just to break those bad habits. And that actually gets harder in the regular season because in spring training you're facing minor league arms. Here you're facing big league arms. And it's just really encouraging to seeing that he's making those adjustments and having success even against his top-end talent, guys.
He's had some really critical at-bats and plate appearances in this series. Today, of course, obviously driving in 3 of the 4 runs. But the walk yesterday that he drew, and you pointed out when he went up yesterday in that plate appearance, after 2 very quick outs, it was really necessary for Leiter's case. This ball lined into left field. That's a base hit. Garcia pedaling for second. And he's in with an easy stand-up double.
Adolis with the rocket into left center field, 96 miles an hour. And an easy stand-up double. Adolis was running hard here. He was thinking 3 and smartly shuts it down right at the base. Red Sox get to the ball in a hurry in the outfield.
Yeah.
That might have been a triple against maybe certain other teams, certain other center fielders, but Duran, Campbell, Abreu, they can move.
Oh, this ball hit well center field, and that one takes Duran back. He'll make the catch, but Garcia can tag and advance to third on the first out of the inning. Good swings here against Zach Kelly.
That's a good job right there. He's getting 5s from the dugout because gets a runner to third base with 1 out. Infield coming in, get another fly ball, get another run in.
Infield in now. Duran at the plate. And he showed bunt. Offered at it, strike 1.
Glad that wasn't a squeeze. What I mean by that is Garcia would have been running on the pitch, which would have been most likely a free out in a rundown situation.
Everybody up close on the infield, creeping in. And swinging a foul ball, so it's quickly 0-2 on Duran. A ball over the infield should score a run. Zeke in the game because Josh Smith had to leave in the first inning with a left quad contusion, we're told. Time called here by Duran. So we got the update, a left quad contusion, bruised thighs, you'd say.
I don't know how good of a thing this is, but I saw him earlier sitting in the dugout watching the game.
Kelly's 0-2. That's fouled away. Rangers added a run in the 4th inning. In fact, they used that run to break the 2-2 tie. Scratched out a run in the 5th inning to extend the lead a little bit. And another run right here will be pretty big. In the dirt. Nice block by Narvaez.
Boy, those have to be tough. This ball bounces so far out in front of home plate here. Narvaez, he blocks it with his right arm.
Barely got to it.
Hey, it's a great block. He wasn't trying to block it with his arm, I don't think. You're trying to get your chest on it, but that counts as an awesome play for the Red Sox.
Kelly delivers again. A swing and a miss. He strikes out Duran.
Duran just couldn't lay off of this breaking ball as it's on the plate just below the zone. just a really good pitch in a big situation there. See the reaction from Kelly. He's fired up about it.
Visit by Andrew Bailey here, the pitching coach for the Red Sox. We'll talk things over with Heim coming up. And I like this. Heim had the really good swing his last time up, lined out to deep right field in the 4th inning. Had 2 home runs yesterday, but it was just another indication that he's seeing the ball and squaring up the ball well here.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the Rangers talked about Garcia earlier in the inning and Heim. A lot of these guys didn't have years they wanted to have, and they've talked about it. You look at the Heim homers yesterday, and this one in the 3rd inning off of a sweeper. And then in the 5th inning, gets a changeup, deposits that one into the bullpen. And 2 outs, runner on 3rd base. But I think a lot of guys, they worked really hard this offseason. You hate saying it, but failure will motivate you the most.
Buffalo Bomber takes strike 1. Two out to left in the 2nd inning. The line out in the 4th inning. Big lead for Garcia at 3rd. And quickly the count 0-2. Kelly coming right after him with a couple of fastballs. Inning started with the double by Adolis. Moved up on the flyout. Duran struck out, and now 0-2 to Heim. The pitch. In the air. Medium deep center field. And the inning is over. The Rangers leave a man at 3rd. Well, that gets us to the 7th inning here tonight. Rangers still lead by 2.
Get some free MLB TV with T-Mobile. Redeem today at T-Mobile.com/MLB.
Kind of an idea guy lately, I've
I'll
noticed.
tell you what, after the game last night, I went home and turned on my MLB TV, heard CJ Nikowski in San Diego calling the Braves game and flipping over to the Dodgers, hitting a walk-off home run.
That's underselling that Dodgers game a little bit.
Thanks.
Right? I mean, there's a lot going on in that game.
Yeah.
I went back to watch the condensed version today.
It was a great game.
Man. Still undefeated.
Mookie Betts is back.
Well, Devers leads things off here in the 7th inning. Garabito threw a scoreless 6th and jumps ahead 0-2 on the Red Sox designated hitter. Garabito, one of those guys, I don't know that maybe many people saw him making the club out of spring training.
Well, and the Rangers sent Garabito down to minor league camp, but after a few injuries, brought him back, and he pitched well in minor league camp and pitching well here tonight.
0-2. And he sneaks that in there. Strike three called. 96 on the fastball from Garabito.
Let's look at strike one right here. It's the cutter inside, swing and miss. Strike two, fastball by you at 95 down the middle. And pitch number three, four-seamer. Just looking. Strike three.
A little confused up there. There's a good fastball for a strike to Bregman. And for Devers, that's 9 strikeouts in this series.
His timing is so off right now.
Bregman's been on twice tonight for Boston, a base hit and a walk.
I just wonder this. It's not Bregman's fault. It's not the Red Sox fault. They're trying to get better. I just wonder how much not playing third base is affecting him mentally.
It's pretty obvious that there are issues with that. Now, there's no doubt any sane person would say the Red Sox are better off with Bregman at third base. He's a better defensive player. He's a very good hitter. He's a leader. Devers is an elite hitter. Not very good defensively, and that's being kind. He's not good defensively.
Right.
So it's pretty obvious that you'd want to have Bregman at third. But the problem is, listen, these guys are people. Devers doesn't want to hear that. And he bristled, and I think he's still smarting from it. 2-2, and that's lined into center field, a base hit. Another good game for Bregman. 2 hits today to go with a walk. A man aboard here in the 7th inning, and we will slide over this time for Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Alex Cora has a really delicate job, right? Managing some of these personalities. It's not like Devers is an unpopular guy in that clubhouse.
Right.
He's quite popular.
Yeah.
And so and Bregman's the new kid. And so if you're siding with the new kid, you know, there's some egos and some personalities that are going to need massaged a little bit here to make this transition a smooth one. That's what a manager gets paid to do, right? He's got to make tough decisions. He's also got to deal with these personalities. And Cora's proven to be a very savvy manager of people.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, you know, how he's going to handle this as this season progresses.
This one lofted out to right field by Casas. Garcia comes in to make the catch, 2 away.
Good buddy, Jared Sandler, texting us. The strikeout of Devers, the last pitch, 95.6 miles an hour. Hardest pitch of Garabito's career.
Well, when I saw 96 on the screen, I will say that caught me a little bit.
Now the other thing too is Rafael Devers has set a major league record with that strikeout. Through 3 games, the first 3 games of a season, no hitter has ever struck out 10 times in the first 3 games of a season beginning.
It has him at 9 right now, right?
It wasn't that the 10th. I could be off on my count.
Today, 4 yesterday. Sorry. And 3 in the opener, right? So put him at 9.
Okay.
I don't know. Jared's like 10 feet away texting us and pantomime a bunch of stuff. I don't know.
I'll answer my phone at the end of the inning, Jared.
Not 2 gone. And Story the batter. And there's a ground ball. Clark Seager. An easy put out at second. Ends the inning. Red Sox leave another base runner. It's stretch time here tonight. Rangers up 4-2. And it's time for God Bless America. Let's check in with Chuck Morgan.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and direct your attention down the third baseline and welcome back the Powell brothers. The Powell brothers will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Opening week presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. All right, Rangers up by 2, 4-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th inning, folks have stretched it out a little bit. Exercise their voices, and now let's see if the Rangers can reward them with some more offense. Leody Taveras is really good at the plate these days. Leads it off in the 7th inning. He had a beautiful bunt single in the 5th inning, and then stole second. Eventually came around to score, and he check swings this one back toward the mound. That squirts out behind second base. Our Story takes care of him, 1 away. Zach Kelly out for another inning. He tossed a scoreless 6th inning. Worked around the leadoff double by Garcia. And now he'll have the top of the order coming. Semien 1 for 3 tonight. And Kelly runs it in. Tomorrow, the final game of the series, final game of the homestand. And really excited for DeGrom Day. Jacob DeGrom tomorrow. Richard Fitz has the start for Boston. 1:35 tomorrow. Now there are still tickets available to come see Jacob DeGrom and his season debut right here at Globe Life Field. There's no more electric pitcher in the game. Although I say that with all due respect to Jacob, all that he's accomplished, and just that little pixie dust that he brings to any game, because it is special. There are guys coming. Guys like Paul Skeens are kind of compelling. Check swing flare that goes foul.
Well, his major league debut patch on his jersey last year, it recently sold a week or so ago for $1.1 million. So I'd say it's quite a few people that are.
It's got somebody's attention.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Kelly misses. Yeah, Skeens has a pretty special arm. I don't know though. Would you, even as great as he has been, and it's early in his career, as compelling as DeGrom when DeGrom's at his best?
It's different because Skeens is the new toy. He's the brand new, came up last year. I took my kids to Texas A&M to see him pitch for LSU his junior year, and it was spectacular. So getting to watch great pitchers, I would love coming to Arlington Stadium as a kid, knowing if Roger Clemens was coming in, or Brett Saberhagen, or Mike Witt, or Dave Stewart. It just made the game so much more enjoyable.
Ground ball left side of the infield. Bregman with a good snag, a pirouette, and a good throw. 2 away. And I know that there are people inside baseball who are working on the problem, the solution, whatever it is, however you want to look at it. They'd love to see the game trend back that direction, where great starting pitching was the focus, the draw, that got people to the ballpark, excited them. Doesn't mean they don't want offensive games and that sort of stuff. I think what you want are pitchers to stay healthy and to stay effective, so that we can identify with them and be excited about it. And you want to see them pitch deep into games. Seager chops one down the first baseline, but foul.
I'll just tell you, Ranger fans, you have the opportunity. Let's just say Jacob DeGrom makes 30 starts this year for you. I'd love for that number to happen. Well, only 15 of them most likely are going to be at home, just guessing. So you have 1 out of about 10 and 15 chances to catch them this season, and tomorrow's one of them.
Yep. And you know it, and you have a little advance notice. I'm with you on that one. Kelly's 1-1, and that's outside. On the caravan stops in the offseason, right, in January and whatnot, I'd oftentimes find myself making that point. Not by design, it's sort of come up organically, but I just don't want people to miss this opportunity because he is special. This ball in the air. Out to medium deep left field. Not going to carry. Campbell makes the catch and the inning is done. Rangers go in order. We are off to the 8th here tonight in a 2-run game.
Tex Gala presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Thursday, April 3rd at Globe Life Field, benefiting the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. Special performances from Thomas Rhett. Enjoy cocktails, dinner, a live and silent auction featuring Rangers exclusive items, trips, and more. For information on tickets or sponsoring the event, please visit rangers.com/TexasGala. Tex Gala.
Way to go. 8th inning. This is interesting. Garabito 2 scoreless innings, but he gives way to Robert Garcia in the 8th inning. Romy Gonzalez pinch hitting for Abreu. That's also interesting. Who pinch hits for Abreu?
Well, I'm happy about it. We'll see if it works out, but
So they'll settle for the 2 good innings from Garabito. And with a 2-run lead, I guess the way Boch looks at it is like it's just a 2-run lead. Let's go to the high leverage guys in the 8th and 9th innings. And so that's what they're going to do.
Garcia had the day off yesterday.
Bouncer foul.
With this opening day, Garcia, he has 3 pitches, but he's primarily just a 2-pitch pitcher to righties. He's fastball changeup and primarily just a 2-pitch pitcher to lefties. He's fastball breaking ball.
Well, fastball is up. So Gonzalez, first we have seen of him in this series. And he'll take low. 3-2. 28 years old. Gonzalez originally with the White Sox. Was an 18th round pick back in 2018. This is his first year in the Red Sox organization, and he takes ball 4. So this is what we saw from Garcia the other day. He's got good stuff. He's pitched in high leverage spots in the past, but the other day when he came in, he walked 2 in 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah, hopefully he can find it here and be able to get a ground ball double play, use his defense.
Campbell's kind of been the tough at bat today for the Rangers. Garcia misses in 2-0. So Garcia, 28 years old, came over in that trade from the Nationals for Nathaniel Lowe. He gets a swing and a miss. That's a good changeup. It was by far his best pitch.
Just locate something down and away.
Two one. And that one bounced toward third. Duran charges, throws on the run, just in time to get the speeding Campbell, and he was moving down the line. That's the first out of the inning.
Boy, that's a great play. Talk about the Rangers having bench. Josh Smith starts, he gets hurt. Duran comes in and makes an outstanding play here at third base. Got rid of the ball quick. Throws a strike and just gets Campbell for a big first out in this inning. Good stretch from Berger.
So now David Hamilton, the batter, right-handed hitter. Pardon me, Wong, pinch hitting for him. So they go to the bench again. Connor Wong, second pitch hitter of the inning. And he swings and misses. You know, Wong can be dangerous. No power in that bat. One out, a man at second base, and Garcia is in. Now the Red Sox so far tonight 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They're just 2 for 16 with runners on base, and they have stranded 9. Garcia hoping to keep that trend going. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2.
You mentioned a few moments ago, there's that changeup on the plate, 89 miles an hour, just below the zone.
Great crowd tonight, 32,251 here tonight, and they're encouraged just a moment ago to make a little noise for Garcia. Here it is. Oh, strike 3 called. And he got a little help that time. Wong goes down looking, 2 away.
Well, Garcia's a changeup fastball guy to righties, and we see the pitch 89 miles an hour right before the strikeout. Changeup below the zone, fastball top of the zone, and Jonah Heim frames it up and gets the call. Good job by Jonah right there. Borderline strike.
Narvaez bounces one foul. Well, he's one of the best in the business, Jonah. He presents pitches as well as anybody to umpires.
And I know he probably doesn't appreciate this, but you got to give Bobby Wilson a lot of credit. He does a lot of work with the catchers to get them to frame it up. You know, he likes to be not heard of and stuff like that, but Bobby's a great catching coach.
He is. Year after year, he'll grade out as well as anybody in the business. He's a swing and a miss, and this year really, Bobby thrilled with the group he has. With Heim and Higashioka, figures he's got 2 of the best. And then, if needs be, down at AAA, a 2-time Gold Glove winner in Tucker Barnhart. I mean, they've got some depth. Up high, 1-2. Story out at second base for Boston. Garcia trying to work around that leadoff walk. Pardon me, Gonzalez. Rather, Romy Gonzalez, who drew the walk to open the inning.
The fans getting into it. A wave. Some crowd noise. Wanting strike 3.
Here's the 1-2. Foul it back. Leaf gets started again. Red Sox got their runs, single tallies in the 2nd and 4th innings. Been all hands on deck out of the bullpen tonight. 1-2 pitch. On the ground, that's through, base hit right field. Gonzalez scores. RBI single by Narvaez, and he makes it a 1-run game in the 8th.
Here's the pitch here, and it just catches the plate right down the middle. RBI single. This is a great play by Garcia, diving and making sure that he keeps it in front of him to hold it to just a single, as Gonzalez scores really easily on that one. But that's good to see. Last year, Garcia wasn't moving as well as the season progressed in the outfield, and that was a good job of cutting that ball off. As you see here, this ball trying to get into the gap, and Garcia stops it and gets it in quickly.
So down Rafaela, pinch running over at first base now. Cora is just about burnt through his bench. Duran the batter, and he slashes that one foul. Duran 0 for 3 with a walk. Devers would be next, and he has struggled mightily this weekend. And this one is high in the air, foul ground first base side, and Berger able to make the play. Inning over. Boston settles for the 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rangers leading at 4-3.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Rangers up by 1. Aerial coverage provided by Jack Daniels. Maybe you're enjoying a Jack Daniels beverage this Saturday night, watching some Rangers baseball.
2 fingers of Jack on the rock. Let's go.
Yeah. Greg Weissert on the mound for the Boston Red Sox.
New battery as he works to Connor Wong in this bottom of the 8th inning. Handful of changes, most of them up the middle for this team. Weissert runs that one inside, ball 1 on Langford. A 4-3 Rangers lead. It's a tough one. Slider. Langford thought that was off the plate. One and one to count. And that was a really good sweeper right there. So Romy Gonzalez stays in the game at second base. Rafaela in center field. And Duran slides over into right. And that fastball is in. 2-2.
Right when you said that, Rafaela in center field was waving Duran over into the left center gap.
Weissert fouled off here, stays 2-2. Scoreless inning last night, allowed a hit, struck out 1. Amazing, we're 3 games into the season, and both managers already kind of trying to figure out how to manage the workload on their bullpens. Of course, the first week of the season lends itself a little bit to that because you're not going to get a ton of distance out of your starters necessarily.
No, you're right. You just usually after a series like this, you'd have off on Monday, but the Rangers head to Cincinnati after tomorrow and play 3 there.
There's a strikeout of Langford, one away in the 8th inning. Gives us a moment here to hear from Hyundai.
Ruth! Listen, Jenna, I need to lay low for a few days. Why?
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
One out, here's Jock Peterson. So many times in the opening series of a season, you play that opening day and then there's an off day immediately.
Yeah.
And even when we play here, we've seen that before. It's usually to account for potential weather mishaps. Finally, I think Major League Baseball is like, they've got a roof. I don't think we need to do that in Texas.
The other thing too is there's such excitement on opening day, and I get it, but then the next day you want more baseball.
Agreed. I agree. Keep playing. That's outside.
I said tonight I'm gonna go home after this one and see who's playing on the West Coast.
I'll give you a hint. It'll be largely the same teams that were playing on the West Coast yesterday.
You're correct. Unless they played a day game, but yeah.
That's true.
Maybe check out the A's in Seattle.
They've had some interesting games.
Yeah.
3-1. A real seesaw battle on opening day. Randy Arozarena provided the heroics for Seattle in that one. 3-1. And Peterson takes the walk. So a base runner in the 8th inning. And listen, the Rangers, this is a big base runner. It's a 1-run game. You're happy to have the lead, but boy, you really would love to have a little breathing room.
And today, Boch talked about Peterson scoring from first base and said, you have to remember, he was a center fielder early in his career. So does he run as well as he used to? No, but he still runs better than you'd think as a designated hitter.
I think he does, too. And he was also a big football player, a wide receiver back in the day. And he's always been kind of football crazy. Tremendously athletic. So Yeah, and he moved well on that one.
His wide receiver teammate, Devontae Adams in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Wonder who had more receptions.
Well, he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL, but
You
maybe
never
Jock
know.
was better in high school.
It might have been.
Yeah.
Time called, and Garcia will gather himself. Garcia's had one heck of a night. 2 doubles and a home run. He's driven in 3 and scored a run. Might got to have up in this spot. And he holds off on a very close pitch.
That is a great take. That's the pitch that scouting reports say Adolis will swing at and have trouble making contact on.
1-2. Uh-oh. Our teams pitch Garcia in constantly, and that'll go way in. And that one got him on the hand or right near it. I hate that reaction. Good news is Garcia is the strongest dude on the planet. I'm pointing to the top of his right hand to Matt Lucero, head athletic trainer.
4-seamer just riding in. That wrist hand area too. You always want to kind of see it more in that forearm area.
Maybe a little bit glancing. You know, he pointed to the top of the right hand, so maybe it grazed the top just a little bit. If that hits flush on that side of the palm like that, that could be a real problem. So pretty quick examination there by Lucero, and Garcia, for the moment anyway, looks to be okay. He's at first. Peterson now at second base. Get that base running glove on now. So they hit Berger in the tricep. They hit Garcia on the hand. This has been a tough night. 2 base runners for Jake Berger. Now take strike 1. The Rangers 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position so far this evening. 2 runs in the first inning, single tallies in the 4th and 5th. Oh, 1 pitch. Chopper over the mound. Could be a tough play. Garcia trying to stay out of the way. They throw to first. I'm not sure it got there in time. They call him out. But that one might be worth looking. Yeah, Brett Hayes calling upstairs quickly. Bruce Bochy's going to act quickly, and he says, yeah, let's review it. Berger does move quickly down the line.
Yeah, from up top here, it looked like he was safe. There's the tag. The flip.
Texas is challenging the out call at first base.
A little tougher to tell from that first angle. Let's see here.
It's super close. It's so close.
That one, that is really tough. I don't know if they're going to be able to overturn it.
That's where I'm with you on it. I think whatever they called it, they're going to keep it.
Yep. Yep, that's one of those. It's a 50-50.
Even though I will say I was watching the Dodgers game last night, and it felt like it took 5 minutes to review an out at home, and they did reverse it, and I was convinced that the Tiger guy was safe. But obviously all the fans believe that Berger is safe, but I've seen it here on the big screen. It is really tough to tell.
Yeah. Tough, but then again, 32,000 opinions can't be wrong. I think they all saw it one way. It seemed very clear.
Yeah, it's clear to them.
So.
And if you don't know any better, it's not like, oh, well, the glove has to close. If you're looking at it and thinking, well, until the glove closes, it's not a catch. All it has to do is hit the back of the mitt, and then that's considered when the ball is caught.
It used to be to steal a line from basketball in the cylinder, is how they phrased it. In other words, inside the concept of the glove. But then they said, no, it needs to hit the back of the glove.
Okay, we'll put them together.
I like that.
Good job. I'm going to say safe. I'm gonna
say it just stands. It will not be confirmed.
All right.
There's no way you can confirm it, right?
Yeah.
I think stands will be the.
All right. After last night watching Dodgers Tigers in an overturn, I think we're going to get a good call here.
Call on the field is overturned. The runner's safe. Texas retains their challenge.
Oh. Well, there you go. So they're on the corners.
I'll tell you what, great job by our Ranger Sports Network right there as they're working off of that and putting both of those cameras together. I think got us the safe call. Here's Peterson. All right.
Boy, that was close.
Yeah.
And the Rangers will take it. So Garcia tagged out. He was the second out. Peterson at third. Berger safe at first. And now Duran. And he swings and misses at strike one. Well, can you take that break now and turn it into a run? It's just a huge momentum shifter if you can do it. Duran 0 for 3 tonight. Chopper toward third. Bregman had to wait on it, but had plenty of time. Throws out Duran and the inning is over. Rangers leave a couple. Weissert gets out of the inning, no harm done. And now the ninth inning, last chance for Boston. Rangers leading it 4-3. All right, Mike, our Chevy under the hood today. Look who's there, Jacob deGrom. Tomorrow is his first start of the year. It's DeGrom Day here at Globe Life Field. Tickets still available at Rangers.com. Two-time Cy Young Award winner, a career ERA of 2.52, which is third lowest since 1961, expansion era, and a four-time All-Star.
Let's head into that one on a winning streak.
Well, that would be nice. Chance to do it. They're 3 outs away from it. Chris Martin, man on the scene.
Well, he pitched on opening day, second appearance here for the Texas Rangers in 2025. Last year with these Boston Red Sox. Thing that stands out: 3 walks, 50 Ks in 44 1/3 innings.
Exceptional. And there's a swing and a miss, strike one. And he starts off with Rafael Devers, who is in a big-time struggle to start the year. Another fastball. Swung on and missed. The cut fastball. 0-2. Devers has struck out 9 times in this opening series. Wait a minute, how many? 9 times. It was a great movie. 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Make it 10. Devers down on strikes to start the ninth.
Great job by Chris Martin. Cutter up above the zone. Devers late, misses. 10th strikeout in the first 3 games. Great start to the inning.
Alex Bregman now. The Silverback. Chris Martin piles up those strikeouts, and a fastball in there for strike 1 to Bregman. The thing about it is, they're like every single pitch or strike anyway is that quality strike. He is right on the edges. Little low. 1-1. We saw Martin in a Rangers uniform in 2018 and 19 when he returned after 2 seasons in Japan. A different guy. In 2019, he saved 4 games for the Rangers. Never really the closer per se, but did have 4 saves in a Rangers uniform. Tonight, looking for his 5th career as a Ranger. We've got a moment here for Kia. Bregman in the air center field. It takes Taveras back, but he has all kinds of space out there 2 away.
Interesting from Chris Martin here is he's talking to Bregman going back as he quick pitched him. With nobody on base, you don't have to come to a stop here, and he just put the ball in his glove and then slid step and maybe messed up the timing just enough of Alex Bregman. There it is here. He quickly comes set and slide steps.
So, last man standing, Tristan Casas.
Look at this, everybody on their feet already.
I love it.
That 3rd out.
Relatively low-scoring affairs these first 3 games of the season. 1-1. I love it. Fans
They're into
truly aware and into it. Martin, an Arlington native, graduate of Arlington High School, the 1-1. Low. Ball 2.
There is a little bit more of an adrenaline kick when the fans get into it like this. You love it when you're on the mound, but you also have to control it and not overdo it.
Two and 2.